Like I have some fold-over tabs that I've just been like, look, Felicia, it's my paper doll. She's pretty.
She's like that.
I know.
I call these the basket shoes. I know, Sam. They have baskets. I am also wearing charcoal tights with a fitted dress and an apron. I am a servant in the show, and I feel like I have come out of Disney, Beauty and the Beast or Alice in Wonderland, take your pick. I'm really happy, and I want to prance around in them all day, every day. So there.
I think this is too big for me. It is too big. Whose height is this?
You're hilarious, man.
Whose height was
There were no
that?
innards in
Today we are doing our first dress. We got to do a costume parade, which basically means you put on all your costumes and go in front of the designers, and they tell you what if you put it on wrong or how you need to put it on. And also they take notes on what needs to be fixed and changed and all that. And we are doing our first costume run, which means, of course, you put on the costumes and do the show.
Hat? Yes! I hate the bean.
Alright. And really cool gauntlet.
Can I do that 3 wishes?
Je veux tell me my future. Je veux tell me my future. Don't make me hit you with my stick.
I really like costumes. I feel like it helps me find how the character moves and stands in them. And there's character work, of course, that you do before you get costumes. But I think it's just kind of adds that little extra thing for me in my character. And I like all of them. I like the Aegeus costume because it's very free and easy, and it's very breathable. And then I like the Creon costume because it's very secret agent, which is exactly what it needs to be. And I think the Jason costume I like the least only because the helmets are very hard to work with. I've worked with them before, and we don't have chin straps for them, and they're not really fitted to our head to my head correctly.
They have chin straps.
Oh, okay. Well, now they have chin straps, but they still tend to bounce around on your head, so you have to fix them, and it's a big pain, and you really have almost no peripheral vision in them. That's why I'd say that they were my least favorite, just for that reason. I think they look really cool, but they're definitely an obstacle that you have to deal with when acting.
Are they like changing out of their costumes, or are they
No,
staying?
they can stay.
Okay.
Yeah, they can stay in them. Some people, I think, change out to go get something to eat real quick.
Okay.
But they're allowed to stay in them.
Okay, cool. And then they're doing like a run.
Because then they're going to do it's the first dress, so they're going to try and get as much
Far as
through
they
it as they can.
Cool. Perfect.
So yeah, so
Thank
we'll
you.
be doing all of it.
So let's just, Marie, just make sure that you go around and tell everybody when it gets about 20 of 2, because we probably won't get calls from the stage managers today, that, okay, it's 20 of 2, you have to be ready to go upstairs at 10 of 2.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool. Thank you.
Your vanity, your lust.
I left your bed. That gave you the right to kill?
Else, any other problems when you were on stage that you saw that we didn't know about before?
The armbands keep falling down.
Keep sliding?
Yeah, and so I'm having to push them back up. Yeah, at one time they're all the way down there. If there's tape or something, they can keep them up.
Every bit of public relations that goes out from the department usually starts or goes out from my desk. Right. Well, we generally start the previous year when we develop the list of the 4 main stage shows. And we also develop who the guest directors are. Because the first thing I have to do is get biographies from the guest directors and come up with a public relations piece about who we're inviting in and how excited we are and who they are, and that develops into a poster and into all kinds of listserv information. From there, we get into the development of the creative kind of image of the show. And from there, it's getting it to the printer, it's reducing it, it's using all the manifestations. And we put it on postcards and posters and invitations and imagery on our website, and it goes everywhere as quickly as possible. I spoke to David Leong in in depth, and he had a very clear image of what he wanted to see. And I spoke to Heather. The dichotomy was that Heather, the piece itself, as you know, is very contemporary in a lot of ways. But of course it's a 3,000-year-old fable, it's a myth, and so we had to kind of put them together. I wanted very much to work with Mary because she has such a strong face. So I marched her into Raymond Hodges Theater one day with a spotlight from my garage, and for about a half an hour we took 50 or 60 photographs. From there I laid them all out. I got input from David, I got input from Heather, and kind of put the 3 or 4 of them that they liked the best together to work on the painting. And then I held my breath and painted. I eliminated her arm and dropped the shawl down so you could get rid of all this stuff and barely see the knife, which was all David's suggestion and really was really effective. I had taken the painting into David, and he felt I had too much of the hand and the knife exposed. So I went home and spent hours hiding half of it, and I brought it back, and he said, nope. And I took it home again and did it some more and brought it back, and he said, almost. And by then I was shivering because I was so afraid I was going to mess it up. And finally we got the image he really wanted, which was to have that very subtle sense of the knife. Because, you know, most of the drama is not about what happens to those children. It's about what is going on in her mind that makes that even a possibility for her. And I had to try to get that through her face. And she has such an expressive face that it wasn't very difficult at all.
Some supplies. Here, let me get my notebook out.
Working with me and with David Leong, Tommy is the assistant producer to the show, which means he kind of does everything that needs to be done that ties up the loose ends. And Tony's working with me as a public relations intern, and he works with me almost 4 or 5 days a week. He's in making phone calls with me.
All right, bye-bye.
Putting up posters. It's sort of like going to the dentist. You don't want to do it, but you kind of have to, and you know it's necessary. And a lot of people don't understand it. It took me a long time to understand that, you know, posters, you know, you don't think they mean a lot, but in actuality they do. You know, you start walking around campus, you start seeing the same images over and over again. You know, you start becoming familiar with the event. And so when someone says, you want to go see Medea? Yeah, I know about that. I think I'll go check it out. So it's very, it's actually it's more important than I think it's given credit to. So,
I mean, and when you have something that really captures your attention, I mean, because most posters you see on campus are straight out of the copier.
Yep.
They might be a plain color tone, but I mean, we do some really professional posters.
Mm-hmm.
And even when you see something that large, like over in the Temple building, stuff like that stays with you if you see it everywhere.
Yep.
So it is important. Good to go.
The other thing we have that's we're producing for this show is high school matinees, and that's a wonderful, wonderful kind of service to the community. And they're all sold out. Bam! They were sold out almost as soon as I sent the invitation out.
Today is the premiere of Medea. It is actually more of an IDR, but we're not going to tell the high schoolers that are there. High school matinee started about a half an hour ago. We have a more than full house, and it will be the first time that our cast is working in front of an audience. I think it's huge. And then our opening will be tomorrow, and our VIP opening will be Friday, and by then they should have it down.
I'm really fascinated to see how the play is received by an audience. We had a high school matinee preview yesterday. That was amazing. The students were incredibly attentive and quiet. I was astonished. It's the quietest high school audience I've ever encountered. That was great. So I'm going to be just really interested to see how people respond to the play. Yeah, I love it. I watch the audience a lot. It's great. Because the audience is another character, right? There's no point in doing a play unless we have an audience. So this is when the actors really start to learn how to best play the play.